Did you decide on a date for your wedding?
Yeah. Why?
What do you mean, why? You know I do shift work, so I'll have to make sure I'm off that day. I've got a time to go shopping to get something to wear, make hair appointments. There are lots of things I'll have to schedule and do to get ready. I've been looking forward to seeing you get married ever since you were a little girl. Huh?
You're coming to my wedding?
What? Of course I am. I'm your mom.
But I don't want you there.
Why not?
If you think about it for just a bit, I think you'll see why.
No, I don't see why I wouldn't go. Why don't you want me there?
Because my fiancé's whole family is doctors. They've been doctors for generations. Do you know how embarrassed I'd be if my high school dropout of a mom showed up?
But to not have your own mama. Wouldn't that look even worse?
I'll just make up some excuse like you're sick and you can't go outside or something like that.
Don't say things like that. Please, just let me come. I've been looking forward to seeing you all dressed up in your wedding dress, walking down the aisle as long as I can remember.
I don't care about that. I don't want you there.
You've never mentioned this before. Why are you just bringing this up now? Did someone on his side say something about me?
Nobody has said anything directly about you, but I can sense how they feel. I don't think his dad or his mom think very highly of you. They've all got M's or P's, and you're sitting there without even a high school diploma. What do you think they'd think? The only reason they're even allowing me to marry their son is that I at least have a degree from a reputable school. Being associated with you is a huge strike against me. Honestly, I'm considering cutting you out of my life altogether.
What? You're not. You don't have to go that far, do you? I raised you your whole life and you're just going to abandon me now?
My fiancé is the most important thing to me right now.
I'm not going to do anything to offend anyone in his family. And I promise I won't do anything to embarrass you.
If you are beautiful and dropped out of high school, maybe that could justify it. But you look like a regular old woman. You've got gray hairs all over the place, and your hands and skin are so wrinkly you look even older than you are. With a high school dropout of a mom who looks like you, they're gonna do nothing but tease me about it for the rest of my life.
There's nothing I can do about how I look. I've been working from morning till night for the past 20 years, just to keep a roof over your head and food on the table. I haven't had the time or money to go to a beauty salon or worry about how my skin looks.
Why the heck wouldn't you care about your own looks? You damn well should.
Look, you know your grandfather was living with us because he was too sick to take care of himself. I not only had to work to raise you, I had to look after him at the same time. And I had to pay all of your grandma's hospital bills before she died too. I had to support everyone by myself. And by the time both of your grandparents had passed away, you were starting college with all that tuition. Everything's been really tough for me. No matter how long or how hard I worked, there never seemed to be enough money. Why can't you understand that?
Stop with your excuses. You only had to work that hard because you dropped out of high school. If you'd have gone to college, you could have gotten a decent job that paid well. You brought this all on yourself. A dropout single mother, my God. You're a disgrace. Why didn't you at least finish high school? Is it because you were too stupid?
I couldn't finish high school because of circumstances beyond my control. That's why I was working so hard to make sure you never had to go through what I went through. And that's why I worked so hard to help put you through a decent college. I did all this for you because I love you. I thought if I could see you get married and be happy, all my hard work would be worth it.
Why are you trying to make it sound like I owe you something for doing all this? It's a parent's duty to raise and provide for their children. If you didn't have the funds or weren't prepared to support me until I was an adult, You shouldn't have given birth to me. But you did, so it's only natural that you work your butt off to provide for me until I'm old enough to get out on my own.
Why are you talking to me like this? I'm your mom, and I love you. I agree with some of your points, but you have to understand everyone has different circumstances, especially us.
It doesn't matter. You just don't fit in with the kind of family I'm marrying into. You better not come to my wedding. If you really care about me like you say you do, you'll stay away. Mom! Why did you say you're not paying for the wedding? The bride's family is supposed to pay. It's tradition. My fiancé's family already agreed to help out and pay half. So why are you suddenly refusing to pay any of it? Do you know how embarrassed I am right now?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay? You said I'm an embarrassment to you, and you forbid me from even going to your wedding. You expect me to pay for half of it after you did all that to me? I'm not giving you another cent for anything ever again. You're an adult now. If you want something, pay for it yourself.
So now you're just going to abandon your own daughter? You're heartless.
Say whatever you want. No matter what you say to me, you're not getting another cent.
Whatever. Do whatever you want? I don't know why this surprises me at all. I'm done with you. I'm never speaking to you again, so don't ever try contacting me again. You're not my mom.
What's this? Are you saying you knew?
What? Knew what?
That none of my blood is in your veins.
What are you talking about? None of your blood is in my veins? Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke.
Then you mean, are you saying you're not my real mom?
I knew I'd have to tell you sometime, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I've been trying to keep it a secret from you. When you were only 3 months old, I took you in.
Hold on. Then my parents? My real parents are somewhere, right? Who are they?
Do you want to know who your real mom is?
Of course. I want to talk to her. Give me her number. I want my real parents to be at my wedding.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're gonna forbid the woman who raised you your whole life to come? And instead, you're gonna invite someone you've never met?
Yes, even though I've never met them. It's better than having the mother of the bride's seat empty at the wedding.
Don't you want to know what kind of person I gave birth to you?
Well, of course. But there's no doubt they'll be better than a high school dropout. I doubt there's anything worse.
Really? Okay. I don't know your real mom's phone number or where she lives, but I think I have some proof of who she is somewhere in my house. I'll find it and send it to you. When you see who it is, you can try to track her down yourself and get in contact with her.
Okay, I will. I've always wondered how someone like you could have been my mom. I suspected long ago that you weren't. We've got nothing in common. I've always believed a child should be with their real mom.
I've always treated you as my own daughter. I devoted my entire life to you. I did all that for you. And you're still gonna say something like that?
I told you before, stop acting like I owe you something. I can't believe this. You've had me tricked this whole time. I want my real parents at my wedding. Get whatever information you have sent to me right away. You fraud. You tricked me again, didn't you? How could I be related to someone like that?
From the way you're acting, I see you found your real mom, huh?
Yeah, I found her. When I got the records you sent me, my fiancé hired a private investigator to find her.
Then invite her to your wedding like you wanted to. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
I'm not inviting someone like that.
Why not? No matter what, she's a better mom than a high school dropout could be, right?
I'm not inviting that thing to my wedding. She's nothing but a criminal. She tried to kill someone to get insurance money. She went to prison.
That's right. But she's out of prison now, isn't she? She should be able to go to your wedding.
What the heck is going on here? Explain this to me.
If you must know, your mom is my older sister. She's really beautiful and knows what men want. Guys have been lining up to be with her since she was young. And because of that, she's always thought she's better than everyone else. So everyone in our family hated her. One day, she decided she wanted to be rich. So she married a rich guy 10 years older than her. But I guess she decided splitting his money wasn't what she wanted. So she devised a plan to try to get it all. I don't know if she planned on trying to kill him before they got married or not, but it seems she wanted all his money and maybe even some extra from his life insurance. But before her plan could work, her husband found out she had been secretly poisoning him, and she was arrested. But by the time all that was found out, she was already pregnant.
You mean with me?
That's right. But her husband wanted nothing to do with the daughter of the woman who tried to kill him, so he refused to take you. That's when I decided to take you rather than have you put up for adoption. My parents used all the savings they had to hire a lawyer to help my sister, but it wasn't enough. The cost of the trial and the extra mouth to feed was too much. I had to quit school and find a job to help my parents out and to raise you.
So, that's why you didn't graduate high school?
Some people said it wasn't worth doing all that for a child of someone like her. But even though your mom had done a horrible thing, I didn't think you should suffer for it. I did my best to shield you from the sins of your mom. I knew if you were associated with someone like that, it would make your life even more difficult.
That's why, even up till just last week, you tried to keep it a secret from me.
For the past 24 years of your life, I loved you and raised you like you were my own. But that wasn't enough for you. You wanted even more than that. And when you told me I wasn't your mom, I thought you knew. So I thought you wanted to know who your real mom was. Recently, I had been considering never telling you the truth and just taking that secret with me to the grave.
So, you were never planning on telling me about my real mom?
I wanted to at first, but it was mostly my parents who thought I shouldn't. When my sister was sent to prison for attempted murder, my parents were so ashamed. They didn't want to be seen in public anymore. They got rid of pretty much everything in the house that was tied to her, even the baby pictures they had of her. We moved away from that town, and my parents never spoke of her to anyone again. But those things I sent to you, those are what I secretly took from my parents before they destroyed everything of my sister's. If you ever wanted to know who your real mom was, I figured it would be best if I had some proof, or something that might lead you to her. I'm glad I kept those things now.
You sent those things to me so my fiancé would find out, didn't you? You kept those things to use against me, didn't you?
What are you talking about? I gave you those things because you said you wanted to know. They helped you find your real mom, didn't they?
Shut up! Think about what you've done. Now my fiancé's family knows that the bride's mother is a criminal. This is terrible.
Oh, is that worse than her mother being a high school dropout? I guess you never considered there are worse things than that, did you?
It's not just that. They know my mom was only after money and tried to kill her husband to get it. What do you think they're gonna assume I'm doing?
Well, I can't blame them for that. If I was in your fiancé's position, I'd be concerned that you'd be trying the same thing that your mom tried too. I'd be scared you might be trying to take my life.
My fiancé's parents said they want the wedding postponed, which is basically their way of saying they don't want their son marrying a criminal's daughter because it'd be bad for their reputation. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before the wedding is canceled altogether.
That's not surprising. It's an unfortunate situation.
What are you talking about? That's what you'd say if this was happening to someone you barely knew.
That's because it is. I'm not your mom. You told me that yourself not too long ago.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know my real mom would be such a horrible person.
You chose the person you had never met over the woman who raised you your whole life. I went along with your decision and I gave you the information you wanted so you could find your real mom. You found her. So I'm not your mom anymore. And that means you're not my daughter anymore.
I was angry. It was a slip of the tongue. It could happen to anyone. I didn't mean it.
You didn't say it. You typed it. Are you saying it was just a slip of the finger?
I only have one mom. You know that? You were my mom then, and you're still my mom now.
You can't just flip sides whenever it's convenient for you. Your fiancé is about to dump you, so now you want to come running back to me? Do you think I'm gonna fall for that?
Mom, I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. Mom! Please. I'm sorry.
I know you meant what you said to me before. Now you've gotta take responsibility for your decisions. You're supposed to be an adult. If you can't take responsibility for your own actions, I must not have raised you very well. But from now on, I'm not going to be looking after you or helping you out ever again. I devoted my entire life to you. I worked hard and gave you everything I could possibly give you. I have absolutely nothing left to give you, and that includes any love. After that, Rose's fiancé's parents were completely against the wedding after finding out who Rose's real mom was. Their family was very concerned with how other people viewed them. They were willing to put up with me being related to them, even though I didn't finish high school, but it was clear they wanted nothing to do with Rose's real mom and the things she had done. Needless to say, the wedding was canceled. Rosa had been quite proud and had been telling everyone how her husband Toby is a young doctor and how she was going to be marrying into an entire family of doctors. But when she had to tell them that the wedding was canceled, it was such an embarrassment for her. As if that wasn't bad enough, Rosa was quite popular on social media and had a lot of friends and followers. So when word got out about her real mom being in prison for attempted murder, word spread really fast, and all of her friends tried to distance themselves from her. I guess they weren't really her friends after all. Rosa ended up being left all alone. I guess she couldn't stand how everyone she thought really cared about her left her so quickly, so she tried contacting me again. But I couldn't bear to speak with her again, so I blocked her number. After that, I haven't heard anything more from her. She's not my daughter anymore, so she'll have to learn how to deal with things on her own. On the other hand, I'm no longer working to support anyone else. I'm going to be focusing on my own life from now on. My life begins now.